He called me sir twice in a row.
Friends, today we're going to talk about something super important, what it means to be transgender.
You know, I really do tend to think of the trans and non-binary community to be pretty inclusive, which I know might come as a bit of a surprise to some of you because of all the infighting we have as a community. Literally, don't get me started on people like Buck Angel or Blair White or any trans med, to be honest. But I really feel like as a trans community and a queer community in general, a lot of us are coming to the conclusion that we just want Lily Tino to stop making the kind of content that she has been making recently. For those of you who don't know who Lily is, she is absolutely no stranger to controversy. She first came to public awareness from making videos about going into different restaurants and would film the waitstaff misgendering her like this.
Friend, so I'm not always saying she, he, they, whatever. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just a little bit complicated. It's not in a sense. But it, you know, like you want me to say bam or she? Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, again, that's no problem. But there are a lot of anyway. Regular water. One thing at a time.
I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir.
Oh, okay.
It just really sucks every time it happens. Can you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
Again, this got the attention of a lot of not so great people.
And like, I'd be damned if I'm sitting here allowing gay people to be grouped in with these kinds of people.
The producer for this podcast chose to put me in a horror film this episode because I know the name is the Blair White Project, but not really feeling the vibe.
Now listen, does getting misgendered repeatedly suck ass? Yes, it does. As someone who does get misgendered on a daily basis, I completely understand the frustration that she has with getting misgendered. However, that really doesn't give you permission to low-key be rude to the people who are working and then getting a manager involved. But what do I know? I'm not really a confrontational person. I would never do something like this, but I do think everyone in the trans community has a right to say, hey, these are my pronouns. If you could use these ones, that'd be great. You know what I mean? And like, I know for me personally, I'll normally correct like one other time. And then if it still happens, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Cause like, it gets tiring, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. Having to correct people all the time sucks. And especially when you don't necessarily pass like Lily does. I really can understand why she would act like this. Would I personally get a manager involved though? No, not really. But again, like I said, I'm a non-confrontational person. She has also gotten into a lot of heat lately for saying that trans women can breastfeed, which, spoiler alert, they can. And also saying that she thinks that Kurt Cobain was a trans woman. And this is what Samantha Lux had to actually say about that.
Cobain was probably trans.
I've seen so many people, specifically trans women, reacting to this video and trying to call Lily like crazy and delusional and all these weird things to, again, make them seem like the rational one, make them seem like the good one. It does not matter how many surgeries you get, how passable you look, how many hormones you pop, whatever you do, anything that you do, you're still trans. They're still gonna hate you just as much as they hate Lily. We can talk about how Lily's cringy. Sure. We can talk about how she's annoying. Sure. I'm not calling her those things. I'm saying if a trans woman is annoying or cringy, we don't have to like rip them apart. Trans women are allowed to be cringy. Trans women are allowed to be annoying, just like the next person, without having their identity attacked, without having people say that they're dragging down the community and hurting the rest of their community. That's crazy. Lily is another trans woman like us who is just trying to find her way. Maybe she has some different opinions on what to do when you get misgendered. Maybe she has some different opinions on gender theory or whatever. Who fucking cares?
You know what's really funny? I actually agree with Samantha here that a lot of the people who stitch Lily when she makes those kind of controversial videos are mostly other trans women or more conservative people in the LGBTQIA+ community who are kind of pick-me's. And I'm not here for that. Like she said, being cringy or annoying online isn't some moral thing. There are so many people out there that make their whole channels and career off of cringe content. And there is an audience for that, obviously. However, the content that Lily has recently been making is not it whatsoever. And in my opinion, and other people within the trans and queer community, is bringing all of us into a bad light. So for those of you who don't really know the situation, she has started making content that looks a lot like children's content. The one that got her in the most trouble was her talking about bottom surgery at Disneyland, and also making content dressed very similarly to a children's content creator, Miss Rachel. Yeah, the resemblance is uncanny. And of course, conservatives online had an absolute field day with this kind of content.
Why would you even feel the need to speak about this at Disneyland? Surrounded by kids, feeling like a kid, nostalgia. It just feels like a very male thing to do. Think about it, who are the majority of people at pride parades wearing basically nothing?
But they're not the only ones that had a problem with this kind of content. I know that because I'm on trans and queer TikTok, I kind of get to see a lot of goings-ons within the community and how people feel about certain things going on in the community. And I have to say, I have seen many people talk about Lily and the content that she has been making. And I have to say, I think my very favorite person who has commented on this situation is a content creator by Stanza, and this is what she has to say.
Trans women can produce milk to feed a baby.
No, the fuck we can't.
Actually, yes, we totally can. In 2018, researchers did a study with a trans woman living in New York, and they were able to increase her estrogen levels to the point where she lactated, produced healthy breast milk, and was able to breastfeed her child. The original video in the stitch is from trans content creator Lily Tino, who has gone viral a number of times for claiming Kurt Cobain was trans, talking about bottom surgery at Disneyland, reacting to waitstaff misgendering her, and most recently impersonating children's content creator Miss Rachel. Needless to say, she's gotten a lot of hate from cis and trans people alike, and my controversial opinion is I don't dislike a lot of what Lily makes content about. I just think it's dangerous the way she goes about making it. There's a lot of evidence that Kurt Cobain may have been dealing with some type of gender dysphoria during his lifetime, but outright claiming him as a trans woman is both a disservice to him and his legacy, as he's no longer here to comment about it, and of course it's going to piss off a ton of transphobes who are going to use that as a justification for their hatred towards other trans people. There's also nothing wrong with respectfully and appropriately talking about bottom surgery online. In fact, I think it can be appropriate to help combat stigmatization, but when you intentionally do it in a children's theme park, you're perpetuating stereotypes that trans women are inappropriate, sex crazed, obsessed with genitals, perverts, pedophiles, trying to indoctrinate children, and again, transphobic people are going to use your video to justify their perpetuation of these hurtful and hateful stereotypes. Of course, you should correct people when they misgender you. I encourage you to do so, but when you're making content about it, and that comes with not treating service workers to the highest degree, you look asshole-ish, and that reflects on all of us. Finally, yes, we should be able to talk with kids about transness, but when you do it by parodying a children's content creator, it comes off as a right-wing media sketch about how trans women are egotistical pedophiles. The reason this is so upsetting is because, Lily, I know you're smart. You can see it reflected in so many of the videos you've made in the past, which is also how I know that you know exactly what you're doing. And while you may be profiting off the views from your videos, the rest of us, your community, has to face the repercussions of your actions and the way you're representing all of us. As a trans woman, when you have a platform with hundreds and thousands of followers and your videos are getting millions and millions of views, you have a responsibility. And trust me, I know that responsibility is not always an easy one to bear, and sometimes you'll make mistakes. I've made so many mistakes in the history of my platform, but the thing is, you have to own them and you have to learn from them. And Lily, you've doubled down on every mistake you've made. For what? Clout and views? I understand that our platforms are very different, and our experiences as trans women are probably also very different. I've seen so much of the hate you get, Lily, and a lot of it is just transphobic. A lot of the hate you get from within our community is transmisogynistic, and you don't deserve that. No one does, but that doesn't justify your behavior. So I hope you see this video or any of the other dozens of videos our community has made talking about this, because we, as your community, deserve so much better, and frankly, Lily, so do you.
I literally agree with everything that Violet just said in this video. I will have Violet's TikTok and Instagram linked down in the description because she's literally one of my all-time favorite trans content creators and we love to support, so please go check her out. But she is 100% right here. There is a time and a place to be able to talk about trans issues online, such as bottom surgery, top surgery, showing how hard it is when you get misgendered, like emotionally, talking about HRT, which I don't know if Lily has or not. that. However, like she said, Lily goes about making her content in a very dangerous way. Not only for her, but for other trans people as well. There are so many stereotypes out there about queer and trans folks being sex crazed, inappropriate, and groomers, which, I'm sorry, I'd be more concerned about my kid being groomed in a church, but that's just me. And it really doesn't help that she's making content that conservatives can easily go, oh, see? All trans people are like that, you should take their kids away from them, or trans people shouldn't be seen in public where kids can see them, which is something that is happening. And it instills more transphobia that's already happening in Western countries. Just recently, we've seen countries like the UK and the USA state that they are going to be passing laws to stop trans youth from getting gender-affirming care. And you really think that's going to stop for them, for just people who are under 18 to be able to get that care? And honestly, don't even get me started about them not passing these kind of laws for cis kids who need to be on hormones for whatever reason. Like, that's a whole other topic, whole other video. Also, I don't mean to get emotional. It just genuinely scares me that I'm not gonna be able to get the care that I need because of the country that I live in. It genuinely is unfortunate that we're still in a place where trans representation is such that if one trans person does something, it reflects back on the whole community. And it makes people think that every single trans person acts this way when we don't. I think, like most people, there are ways to talk about being trans or being queer and have it be age appropriate. But Lily's content isn't doing that. And it also just really sucks that you can tell that she's doing this for the reactions, which I know I'm giving to her right now. Getting a lot of views, a lot of stitches, getting people to talk about you. That comes from making controversial content. And I know that there are people out there who think all publicity is good publicity, which, oh my god, it's not. It's literally not. I wish more people understood that. Then we wouldn't be in this situation. But I think if the publicity that you're getting is harming not just you, but your wider community, you just really got to take a step back and think, is this worth it? Is the money, is the views, is the attention, all of that worth it for me to hurt the rest of my community and the perception people have of us? Because honestly, the majority of the trans and non-binary people are just regular people out there trying to live their life, trying to be their most authentic self, just be happy and queer and frolic in fields and being gay. Like, we're not trying to hurt anyone. It really shouldn't be this hard in 2024, but for some reason it is. And unfortunately, trans content creators like her aren't making it any easier for other trans people. So do I think she's causing harm to the trans community? I personally do. I hate to say it because I don't want to talk badly about someone else in the community, but I really do. I think her need to be talked about can come from other content, which she has made in the past, but she's realized that making these kinds of videos brings a lot more attention from both sides. And it not only makes her look bad, it makes the community look bad too. So yeah, it just sucks because, like I said, I never want to talk badly about another trans person. That's not what I'm here to do. But I think if someone needs to be called out, they should be called out. And I genuinely really love how Violet put everything. She's so much more eloquent than I will ever be. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Lily and this whole situation. I really don't even know if she thinks that she's doing anything wrong, but I really do wish that she understood that she is hurting other trans people by posting that kind of content and just perpetuating harmful stereotypes that have been on trans people, especially trans women, for so many decades. I'm so over people thinking that trans women are predators and groomers, and it's just, this doesn't help that, because like I said, conservatives can be like, see, I told you trans people are like this, and it's not it. Also, before you go, I just want to let you know, if you want to see more videos like this, the best way to support me is my Patreon. You can find that in the description box below. I am trying to make content creation my full-time job, so if you want to help this queer channel out, be a safe space for everyone on the internet. Please check that out so I can make more videos. Thank you all again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.